Hello everybody, this is Melissa Schiefelbein, what I wish I knew about ABA. Have you ever asked a friend about applied behavioral analysis services and been a little put off about what they have to say? There are lots of opinions out there about it, and like with anything else, it's really important to do your own homework before you enroll your child into services. If you go based off only the word of mouth of others, you're taking on the experiences that they've had, whether they're positive or negative. If there's anything about the world of autism that I can stress upon parents first getting into services, it's that every child is so different. And what works for some may not work for others. When I was a parent of a newly diagnosed child with autism who was completely nonverbal at the time, I felt incredibly uninformed about what types of services were out there. So how on earth could I possibly choose what would be best for him? His first few months of speech therapy didn't go very well because I didn't have him enrolled in any kinds of services that target regulation or attending behaviors. It took a few months to get all the pieces together, but once I did, his intervention program helped him thrive in a way I never knew possible. Here's what I wish I'd known about ABA before I took any steps in his treatment package. First, ABA is meant to be a highly specific therapy to the child and have the data to back it up. Right out of the gate, your child should undergo an assessment that allows a board-certified behavior analyst to determine which skills your child needs to work on in order to hit all the developmental milestones of his peers. This is critical information because it should be the driving force behind your child's entire treatment plan. From that data, a BCBA can construct a treatment plan that targets the skills your child may be currently struggling with. It can't just be from a parent interview, and it can't just be from observation. It has to have data to back it up. As your child progresses, the treatment plan has to progress as well. BCBAs constantly need to make decisions that benefit the child using evidence from the data. If you were going to make a life-altering decision, you most likely wouldn't just go for it. You'd carefully consider it, look at the facts, and use as much information as possible before going forward. This is how a treatment plan should work as well. It has to be dynamic enough to progress with the child, but reliant on data to make informative decisions. If you feel like your child's treatment plan isn't progressing or changes are being made without your child having acquired new skills, it's important to be able to talk about it with the BCBA. Second, the skills that are being targeted should be socially significant, meaning that they are going to improve your child's ability to thrive in the environment most relevant to them. If my child is nonverbal, but his treatment plan has lots of targets that focus on learning numbers, I'm not focusing on socially significant skills. I need to ask myself as a practitioner, what's the most important skill for the child to start working on right now? What will allow him to work on even more skills in the future? Learning numbers is a super important skill, but I shouldn't prioritize numbers over communication in this scenario. The treatment plan should be really heavy on the things that are going to improve life overall. Third, ABA is best when it includes two types of learning: discrete trial training and natural environment training. Put simply, there will be parts of the therapy session that teach skills without distractions. So the environment is really structured. A lot of times this happens at a desk or a table, and it almost sounds like rapid fire question and answer. This is because extra stimuli in the environment can hinder a child with autism from really being able to focus on the skill to learn it fluently. This type of environment helps eliminate the stimuli that might get in the way of learning that skill. This is discrete trial training. It doesn't end there though. A child can't learn skills in the structured environment but then never apply them where they'll actually be necessary. This is where natural environment training comes in. This part of therapy should look like play. The therapist and the child should be up, moving around, working with toys. It should look natural. Hence the name. This is the part of therapy where those skills that we learn in isolation should be happening in real time. Both are super critical to the child learning to apply skills naturally. A way to look out for this is to be aware of what skills are being targeted and working on them with your child. This is a process called generalization, and it's the ultimate goal of any skill being targeted. If you notice that your child is only working on one kind of environment all the time, then you'll want to talk to the BCBA about why both types of learning aren't being utilized. Sometimes the ratio of table time to natural environment time needs to shift to accommodate more of one than the other, but both should be a part of the session. Last, ABA should be inclusive. You should always be in the loop about updates and treatment goals. There should be consistent parent and team meetings along with the parent training opportunities. You should feel very informed about progress and current goals. If you look at what your child is working on and you feel lost as to what those goals are and what they mean, that's a problem. You'll always want to feel like there's some way you can be collaborating and working on skills at home. Your input should also be utilized in making decisions about treatment. You are a part of the treatment team, and you should feel equipped to make decisions about the process. Most of the time, if I hear negative reviews on ABA programs, it's because some of the criteria that I mentioned before is not met. Something isn't working the way ABA is meant to be implemented. It's meant to be data-driven, socially significant, inclusive, and systematic, meaning that it takes skills being taught in very structured environments and progresses them to a natural environment. Never feel like you're stuck with a program that isn't functioning optimally. There are several reasons why an ABA center may not be optimizing your treatment experience, but in order for ABA to be done effectively, the elements that I mentioned have to be in place. Staff must be properly trained and consistently guided by a supervising board-certified behavior analyst to keep everything running smoothly. If that has been your experience, I urge you to dig into ABA programs to find one that focuses on the foundations and the principles of ABA. If you're not sure what to look out for or what questions to ask, book with us at bloomhealth.org. We are happy to have a professional speak with you on how to tell a good ABA program from one you may not get the best experience from. For more from us on services and free resources, don't forget to like and subscribe. We'll see you in the next video. Thank you for joining.